What is crack-a-lacking, everybody? Okay, so I didn't get a chance to hop into Last Faith. I got caught up watching the new season of Invincible. Dude, it's so good. So good. Wow. Gonzagas. What the hell? Why didn't you call me? You know I'm right here. So? God damn, my son scared the shit out of me, dude. Sniper, what's up, man? Ooh, Ooh, it is chilly in my house. So, check this out. I am doing a review edit video. PlayStation Portal. I got it to work in town today. So I'll go over the story. I'm so excited, dude. It doesn't, but it still works. You know what that means? That means Bloodborne at work. That means Demon Souls at work.
Parliament Tower was here, again. Zane said the manuscript of return was the key to escaping. I had to get it before Scratch did.
Had I chosen to pursue the cult, or had they chosen me for
Mr. X.
unknowable purpose? To be
Is that the Resident Evil guy?
To sort the clues based on my interpretation, to change that which I observed. It was all a play. Shadows on the wall of a cave, an echo of the true events that happened somewhere else. Was I there to watch the shadows, or was I a shadow too? In a performance set up for someone else.
I mean, I know who he is, but I don't have a lot of experience with him. Kenneth, what's up? Okay, so really quick. Really quick. Okay. We used to live in some apartments that were across the street, right? Across the street from our neighborhood. We're probably a quarter of a mile as the crow flies from our old house. We had Comcast Xfinity. Okay, highest was like 25 megabits per second. That's what they offered. That was their high-speed data, right? My PlayStation, for some reason, would never register the full amount. It would always get like 11 or 12 or 13. And then we moved into the new house when we bought it, and we were thinking that we could still get Comcast, but we couldn't. We found out that their service ends right at the. Okay, the nearest hub is 240 feet away. Comcast wanted to charge us $88,000 to install fiber optic line. Okay, they wanted to run around our entire neighborhood and then come back down the main road into our neighborhood and run it to our house. And what they wanted to do was use our house as a hub for the rest of the neighborhood. We told them, suck it. We're not going to give you damn near $100,000 so you can make money off the rest of the people in the neighborhood. You can fuck right off and die. So when we first moved in, we didn't have internet. We were trying all these different companies, dude, and nobody would give us internet. And finally, we went to Verizon and asked them, hey, is there anything that you guys can do? And they were like, the only thing that we can do is we can give you a jetpack with some SIM cards, and that's it. And that's what I used for gaming for quite a while. And the one company that has internet in our neighborhood, we asked them to come out, and the dude was at our house for like a half an hour and was like, no can do, sorry, can't do it. And so I was using the Verizon jetpacks for a long time, and then I would drive to my mother-in-law's house like 30 miles away, download some shit, and then come back. And I would use the jetpacks for internet to play games. That's it. So we used these cards for about 6 months, right? And then the guy from the company that the guy worked at that had come out to our house for about a half an hour, there was another guy that came into my store every day. And I got to talking to him, and I was like, hey, you guys done building that new tower yet? And he looked at me, and he was like, what new tower? We're not building any new tower. And I told him what was said to me by the previous guy, and he was like, fuck that, dude. I've installed houses in your neighborhood. You should be able to get internet. So this dude came out to our house and for 6 hours scoured our property until he finally found a signal. And you wanted it to be at least 60%. He found a signal that was 64 to 74%, which got us internet, dude. And we were grateful, right? I was happy. We were hooked up. Okay. With this internet company, I averaged like 13.1 megabits per second on the download, and the highest I ever got on the upload was like 3.1. Okay? I didn't really care about it until I started streaming. All right, once I started streaming, it started becoming a problem. I had to start setting all my shit up in different ways, right? And the guy that we called to come and fix the computer every now and then, the last time he came over was like, hey, have you guys tried Verizon Home yet? And we were like, Verizon Home? What? I mean, we have Verizon jetpacks, but Verizon Home, what the hell is that? And he was like, oh, dude, it's great. He was like, if you guys get Verizon cell phone service where you live, you should be able to get the box. This was like 6 months ago, dude. We didn't think anything of it because Verizon told us no about getting some sort of home internet last time we were in there. But they have something new. So my wife goes in there and she's talking to the guy, and he's like, oh yeah, it's Verizon Home, it just came out, it just released up in this area, and he sent us home with a test box, right? And he was like, here, if you guys like it, let us know, and we'll get your services set up. You can try it for 30 days for free. And we were like, wait, what? Seriously? And he was like, yeah, if you don't like it, just bring it back. And we were like, okay. So I get this thing set up this morning. Remember, with my previous internet company, what I was using up until this morning, we were getting 13.1 average on the download, and on a good day, we would get 3.1 on the upload. Now, we averaged like 0.3 to 1.5 on the upload, but if I caught it at a good time, I could get 3.1. Okay? I hook up this Verizon Home Internet, right? And I hook my PlayStation up to it, and I do a test. All the other stuff pops up first, right? And then I'm sitting there waiting, and I'm thinking it's going to be like 19, 20, if that, dude. I mean, that was my hopes being high, but I was really expecting like 10 or 11. 45.8 megabits per fucking second. That's damn near double what we were getting with a corporate company. And that is 3 times more than what I was getting with my PlayStation ever since we've gotten internet. Okay? The highest I've ever gotten on the upload was 5.8 with, 3.9 with Comcast. Right? Upload 6.1 with the upload, dude. It fucking doubled. It doubled the highest I've ever had on an upload. I did it test 4 times, and it all averaged out 45 and 6, 45 and 6, 45.8, 45.2, 45.5, 6.1, 6.3, 6.1, 6.2, 6.4. I was like, yo, what the fuck, dude? So I took my PlayStation Portal and I was like, let me drive over to the store really quick. I hooked my Verizon Portal up to the Verizon Jetpack that we have, or my PlayStation Portal to the Verizon Jetpack that we have, and I left my PlayStation on, dude. And I'm sitting at the gas station, which is down the road, and I see it spinning, and then I see the X to play hit X. So I hit X, and my fucking PlayStation 5 menu came up. I was like, yo, no way. So I called my wife, and I was like, hey, go look at my TV and tell me if the cursor's moving around. Right? And she comes down, and she was like, oh, shit. She was like, where are you at? I said, I'm over at the store. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, hold on. Let me call you back in like 10 minutes. So I shut everything off, and I drove into town. Now, mind you, I have to go over a mountain and down the other side of the mountain to get into town, right? Town is like 11 miles away. I parked at the bottom of this mountain at a park. Portal, connect it to the Verizon Jetpack. Sat there and waited and watched it spin, watched it spin, watch it, boom, press X to play. I was like, no way, no fucking way. I hit X and I'm sitting there waiting. 1 second goes by, 2 seconds goes by. All of a sudden, a little portal pops up, and I could see my PS5 screen, and then it opens up, and boom, there was my PS5 screen. So I called my wife again. I said, "Hey, tell me, is the cursor moving around on the TV?" She said, "Yeah, it is." She said, "Where are you at now?" I said, "I'm in fucking town." That blows my mind, dude. Like, I got the PlayStation Portal to work in town. It's not the greatest. It's a little laggy, right? It's a little laggy. But it fucking worked. That means I can play my shit at work.
Hello. Do you have a second?
Ah, long time and no see, Miss Anderson. Thor and Odin are not here. They are old tricksters always sneaking off.
Sorry. No, I wanted to ask you about something else.
Uh,
Do you live around here?
I live in Bright Falls. You've seen me around. I am Mr. Blum. You call me Vladimir. I work at a nursing home. I take care of your old people. We are on day trip, music, sauna, the good times. I bring them here in the bus.
The elderly are very important. And it's a very nice bus. Thanks. Can you point me to any trailers around here?
Sure. Watery Lighthouse Trailer Park. Ilmo Koskela owns it. He owns many things in town.
And where is Ilmo?
I saw Ilmo and his brother at the bridge. Well, what used to be the bridge.
Sadder is better. I love it.
Trailer park is a good place to look for a trailer. Keep it simple, Saga. I need to find Ilmo Cascella. A trailer park. Ilmo Cascella. He's that tour guide we met at Cauldron Lake. I need to... Mom's family was from Sweden. I've always imagined it kind of like this. Saunas, lakes. Seems nice. Ever heard of the Cult of the Tree?
The half-deer, half-man monsters? Oh, sure I've heard of them. They're the reason I can't risk taking walks in the forest anymore. If one of them shows up, how am I supposed to get away? I can't run with a bad hip. I'd be killed for sure. I could maybe use my crutches to defend myself. Do you think that'd work? You're the professional.
Probably smart just to stay in the sauna for now. Enjoying the sauna?
You bet. The steam is amazing on my creaky old joints. I'm just waiting for Ahti to wrap up his show so we can crack open some beers.
I've read that taking a sauna is good for preventing dementia.
Yeah, and so is beer.
Hey, Seva. A sauna doesn't fix what ails ya. You're a goner.
They also say silence is golden.
Sniper, you never answered me. What's how's Last Faith going?
Whew. Hot.
I don't want to go to work tomorrow, dude.
The flooding is even worse here. More like underwatery. I'll have to tell Casey that one later.
Hey, what did you
How is the Last Faith?
I don't know about all that, but idle hands are the devil's playground. Well, us fishing types...
I saw you playing it the other day. I think I was at work, and you were playing it while I was at work. It was like Wednesday or some shit when I saw you playing it. Is it true that it's like Castlevania meets Bloodborne?
Mayor Setter, sitting up.
Where's the time gone? There's just a wretched husk of what used to be.
I thought you said that you didn't like the you didn't like Soulsborne games, or was that
Hello.
I need something to force this open. I bet they have good fish here.
might have been. Oh, okay. I know somebody said it. I can't remember who said it though, because we were talking about Jedi Fallen Order, and somebody said that they didn't like it because it played like a Souls-like. I think it might have been what's his name? Not Anthony. I think it was that dude Anthony. I fucking booted his ass off the channel. He started getting all wild and crazy one night and started talking a bunch of shit to everybody. And I was like, yeah, nope.
I need to go back. Got a case to solve.
So, did you ever play a game called Blaster Master? Hey, hold on. I'll show you. Hang on. Shit. Zelda and Link, the gold edition cartridges. Check this out. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. You can't buy this game. I mean, you can't. They don't make new copies of it. But this copy is super rare because this came out right around the time that Mike Tyson got busted for his hard R charge. So they re-released this game without him in it and pulled these off the shelves. Kung Fu. Fucking Little Mermaid. Gyrus. Super Mario. Where is it? The original Final Fantasy. Fun fact about this game, Squaresoft, when they were coming up with the idea for this game, they were on the verge of going bankrupt. So when they were developing this game, they didn't have a name for it. And one day they were sitting there and they were like, you know what? Fuck it. This is our last attempt at becoming successful. Final Fantasy. How about, and you know, everybody was like, we dig it. If this game would have failed, Squaresoft would have gone in the dumps. Greatest game, one of the greatest games ever made, right here. Mega Man 3. Followed very closely by Mega Man 2. But let's... Castlevania. Friday the 13th. Check this out. Most people don't like water levels, right? I hate water levels in video games. And this game is the reason why. The original, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The third level is a water level where you have to disarm bombs. And I think you're about my age, Sniper. I don't know if you're a little bit younger than me, but you may have been old enough to still have had a Nintendo and have this be around. I'm telling you right now, the water level in this game is one of the most stressful levels I have ever played in a video game, ever. Hands down. Oh, no. That's the sequel. I'm talking about the original Master Blaster or Blaster Master. I don't think I have a physical copy of it on hand right now. Hang on. I thought I did. Nope, that's Super Mario 3. Nope, that's GoldenEye. Shit! I could swear that I thought I had a physical copy of it. So Blaster Master, the sequel on PS1 was a lot like Armored Core, yeah. But Blaster Master was a Metroidvania style game that came out on the original Nintendo. Shit, I know I have a copy of it around here somewhere. Here, hold on. I could swear I had it on my phone at least. Let me see. Master. Let's see. Master Blaster. No, I guess I don't. Okay, hold on. It's this game right here. So basically this kid like falls into a hole in the ground chasing a frog. And he finds this machine with the suit of armor in it. Pretty much, yeah. I played the shit out of that as a kid. And then the song was 1988. Holy shit, I am old. God, dude, that gives me goosebumps. It brings me back. Ah! Yeah, so basically there were two formats, right? This game had two formats. You could hop in, okay, so you were a little tiny guy on a screen, right? You were hella small next to your vehicle, okay? And you could go up to your vehicle and you could hop in it, and then you would control your vehicle on a side-scrolling screen, and it was basically, it was a Metroidvania-style game where you had to go through these different levels and you had to get these new upgrades for your car to get to bust through to the new area, right? And then you'd have to go back through the old areas and into a new area over here. Exact same way a Metroidvania is built. Okay, now the other format was when you hop out of your vehicle, you're this little tiny ass little fucking character, right? And it looks like you're like in a motorcycle, like in a speed racer outfit, right? And you could walk around and you could shoot this little weak gun, but the idea was you would find a doorway with your vehicle and you would get out of your car and you would go over to the doorway and you would enter, and then it was like a top-down of you walking around and fighting shit in this room, a lot like Zelda. So it was imagine like the Legend of Zelda format mixed with a Metroidvania format, and it was both games in one. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can emulate it, but if you ever get a chance, dude, play that game. It's got a banging ass soundtrack too. I love those old Nintendo soundtracks, dude. Like, give me some more of that 8-bit music shit. Ah! I swear, dude, I could have, like, if the world was ending in like this epic battle, give me some Mega Man 3 fucking 8-bit soundtrack to go along with to the end of the world while we're all fighting it out, dude.
I need to head back.
If I was a wrestler, that would be my intro music, is fucking like Sparkman from Mega Man 3. And then when you enter like the enemy room, it gets all quiet for a second, and then you hear the door close, and the door closes behind you, and then it goes like, I don't know, it's just something like some epic music battle. Man. Okay, I just got way carried away over some old school shit. Okay, so check this out. It's super dirty right now. So, this right here, do you know what this is? And it works too. It's older than I am. It's super dusty right now though. This right here is the Sega Master System. This is basically the predecessor to, the predecessor to the Sega Genesis. Right here, and it's just like Sega Master System game, super light, dude. It's crazy. It goes in the top like that. You push it down. Same thing, just like with the Nintendo. But there's a card input right here too. Games used to could come on cards, a lot like a memory card, and you would slide it in here and you would push it in here and it would click in. Click. And then here's your power button over here. So this isn't my original Sega Master System. This is one I acquired from a dude off of the internet about 15 years ago. I gave my cousin, I had an original Nintendo and my original Sega Master System from when I was a kid. Like, 2 years old, 3 years old. And about 10 years ago, I want to say, I had like 60 games for the NES because I'd been collecting them over the years. And I had about 20 games for my Sega Master System because the shit for this is a lot harder to find than a Nintendo. And I told my cousin, hey, can you do me a favor and watch this box? It was a big, huge box. And I'm almost positive the little shithead went and sold them for drugs. Because now all of a sudden he don't got them no more. But for Christmas last year, my wife got me a Super Nintendo, like an actual real Super Nintendo, and for my birthday, she got me GoldenEye for the N64. I'm trying to get a Japanese Famicom right now, but they want like $700 for it. I could get the the newer model one for like $200, but I want an original Famicom from like 1982. I don't want one that was, like newly made in 2015. I want an original Japanese Famicom, but they're pretty expensive.
These were the golden years, was full of it.
And I came this close, dude. I came this close to getting a Jaguar. But the Jaguar was like $600. It came with all the accessories and like 15 games. Dude, I was this close to getting it, but I'm glad I didn't spend the money because I had to get some shit fixed on my car. And I ended up using the money to get my car fixed. But something inside was like, dude, don't get it, don't get it, don't get it. And then, like 6 months ago, I went to a retro shop down in the city, and they had a Sega Dreamcast for $200. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, it was right when I got laid off, so it was like a month ago. Z, what's up? Que paso? We were just talking about old video game stuff and discussing Last Faith. Well, it started with me asking Sniper how Last Faith was, and then I started talking about Metroidvanias, and then I asked him if he'd played Blaster Master, and then I went off on a tangent. I was just showing everybody this. Do you know what this is, Z? It's old. It's older than I am. It's still got all the original stickers on it and everything. So I was just talking to Sniper about this. This is a Sega Master System from the 1980s. 1982, I want to say, if I'm going to be specific. So this is the predecessor to the Sega Genesis. Sega's no longer a gaming console company. I do think that they make games, but I think they were bought out by Nintendo. Nintendo handed them their ass on a silver platter. But for a while there, Sega was dominating the market. Fun fact about Nintendo. Nintendo is actually one of the oldest entertainment companies in the world. So this one, I finally found a collect. That's what I was just telling Sniper. I used to have mine until about 10 years ago, and I asked my cousin to hold on to it for me, along with my original Nintendo system, like my shit from as a kid, and I was in a bad spot in my life, and I didn't want to end up, doing something stupid with my stuff. So I asked my cousin to hold on to it, and he did something stupid with it. I mean, PS2 is still pretty fucking old too, man. I mean, I look at the PS2 games. I remember when PS2 first came out. And that shit blows my mind how long ago it was. PS2 was a fantastic system, dude. God, PS2 was a great system. You know, PS2 was actually the first console to come up with the trophy system. Next time you fire up your PS2, right when it comes on, and it's like a bird's eye view of a bunch of columns, those columns each represent a game that you've played and how much progress you've accomplished in that game. So the taller the tower, the more shit you've done in that game. It's not exactly a trophy system per se, but I could still be like, hey bro, my tower's bigger than yours. And to me, that's still a trophy system. Track down the clicker and watery, talk to Emo. I love old gaming systems, dude. To me, it's extremely cool because when video game consoles first came out, you weren't allowed to be an adult and have a video game console. You know what I mean? You weren't allowed to be a person that's my age and own a Nintendo. You know what I mean? Society treated you like a fucking weirdo. You know, it's like an adult that collected comic books. Unless you had like the most expensive comic book collection in the world, you were treated like a fucking weirdo, dude. Like, oh my god, he plays video games? Ugh, he's probably got a Jolly Rancher tattoo on his hand as well. Creep. But if you go back, there's a really cool show on Netflix called High Score. It's like a 4-part miniseries, and it goes back through the ages, and it talks about the evolution of video game consoles and video games. And, you know, it goes through like the PC era, and it talks about Doom and how Doom revolutionized the FPS market. And, you know, then it talks about games like Super Mario and how Super Mario affected the economy. And, you know, Super Mario is treated like a real fucking superhero over in Japan. Like, that motherfucker put Japan on the map, essentially, in a positive way. But I always find it fascinating when you see a like every time I find out about a new console in history, I like to go back and research it, and I like to research like who had it. Like I found out, I've always known about the Panasonic 3DO, but I'd never seen one in person. So Panasonic, the TV company, actually used to be in the video game business for a little bit. You know, they were known for making things like stereos and TVs and speakers and all that, but they did have a video game console, and the controller was a TV remote. So basically you played games with a TV remote, but the gaming community didn't like that, and they said that it felt weird, so the system failed. And then they came out with the Panasonic 3DO, which was more like a Sega Saturn. which was actually really cool. It had some cool video games on it, but I mean, it just couldn't compete with Atari, Sega, and Nintendo. Because at the time, the top three gaming console companies were, at the time, it was Sega, then Nintendo, and then Atari. And if you go back, the guys that ran Atari, they came out with like the 2600 and all that shit. Atari was built off basically a stolen, what do you call a stolen patent? So there was a guy that had worked for Atari, and Atari made arcade games. You know what I mean? They made the stands with the screens and all that shit. I don't know if you guys are old enough to, because I don't even think arcades are a thing anymore, are they? I haven't seen an arcade in a long ass time. But back when I was a young kid, we used to have these things called fucking arcades, where it was just video game cabinets as far as the eye could see. And like Mortal Kombat 2 had just come out, which arcades have always kind of been around. It was like pinball machines at first with like some skee ball machines, and it was more of like a carnival thing. But when the video game cabinets started really blowing up, that's when like corporate arcades, like these were just entire areas or stores that were devoted to arcade games. I mean, you would walk into an arcade and see fucking 400 arcade game cabinets, and you could play anything from Michael Jackson's Moonwalker to X-Men to T2 Revolution to, Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 to Time Crisis 1 through 5 and, all these crazy different games. The Simpsons, Turtles 2, the arcade game. But there was a guy that had worked for Atari. I'm actually shocked that he's not talked about in Black History Month more. But he was working on this thing at his house called Channel 11. And it was a console that looked a lot like this. And at the time, there was no such thing as a home video game console. And this guy was working on this thing called Channel 11 at his house. And he was building cartridges just like this right here, but they were yellow, and they had interchangeable games on them. Well, somebody at Atari found out about it, stole the idea, and then that's how we got the Atari 2600. The only video game console I think on the market at the time other than PCs was Pong. Okay, let's see if it'll let me drive over to the trailer park. Because I can't find... Dude, what the hell? How do I get over to the trailer park? I've ran all around this place, dude. There is no exit.
Darn flooding's a real pain in the butt.
Winnie! You guys have all made me a happy man. And you know that? All you guys coming in the chat tonight?
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, you guys want to see something really cool? Oh, check this out. Watch this. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Is it in here? It's in here. It's in here. Oh, check this out. Oh, check this out. Oh, hell yeah. So first of all, this right here is an Atari 2600 game. I know some of you guys will know what this is, but there's a lot of you youngsters out there. I know you guys won't know what this is. This is what some of the first video game cartridges looked like right here. Bam. And then, you know, they slowly evolved into shit like this right here. This is an NES cartridge. But check this out. This is one of my pride and joys of my console collection. I love this thing, dude. So bad as a kid. So this right here is what's called the Sega Game Gear. Okay? This was the first colored... No. This is it right here. As you can, so I've got Jurassic Park, the video game, in right now. This was the first at-home mobile colored gaming device. I wonder if I can get it to turn on right now. No, I don't have batteries in it, and I'd have to hook it all up. But, dude, this thing is heavy as shit. Portable Sega portable video game system. So at the time, the only other mobile gaming device, other than those really cheap ass games that were like digital, that had, it was like a baseball diamond and it had a D-pad and like one button on it, and they made the weird sounds like wah, 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 you know what I mean? Was the Game Boy. And the original Nintendo Game Boy was a little bit smaller than this. It was held upright like that. I actually have one around here somewhere. If I ever find it, I'll bust it out and I'll show you. But it wasn't color. It was very hard to see. And you had to get all these accessories that would slide over the top. And then a magnifying glass would pop up so you could make the screen bigger when you're looking at it. And then you had like lights that folded out so you could see the screen better. And I mean, it was cool for the time. But then this hit the scene and everybody was like, oh my god, what? And dude, it was amazing. And I wanted one so bad as a kid. So bad, dude. If you had one of these and you talked to me, I'm not gonna lie, I legit hated you out of pure fucking jealousy. Because this thing was so cool. As you know, as a kid and seeing this, I was just blown away by it, you know, and I would fantasize about being on a long car ride and playing this thing. And it's actually smaller than I remember, but I found this at a yard sale with all of this shit, with like 30 games, all the equipment, and back then we had what's called Airwave TV, which I think it's been 20 years now since Airwave TV ended and HD TV took over. But back in the day, you used to be able to hook in these things called rabbit ears to your TV, and you could just pick up TV stations for free. It was like ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, Univision, and a couple other channels. This right here is called the Sega Game Gear. But this thing had an attachment to where you could plug it in and it would pick up TV stations, you know, for free while you were out driving around. So if you were a kid that was into football as well, you could just pop this bitch on a Sunday morning and sit there and watch, you know, the Panthers play. But I mean, this was like you guys have, and once again, I'm not talking to the people that are the same age as me. I'm talking to the people that are like 15 to 20 years old. Like, you have no idea how innovative this was to us as kids. Like, this shit was, you were the cool kid if you had one of these. Even if you were an asshole, people kissed your ass so they could play your Game Gear. But I have, so I bought this whole kit for like $100. This dude was just getting rid of a bunch of stuff, and I think he said it was his son's, well, it was him and his sons. They used to play together, and his son, I think, got leukemia, and he was just like, I don't care about the money. I want to give it to, I want somebody that's going to enjoy it. And I told him, I was like, look, dude, I wanted one of these since I first saw the commercial for this thing, and it's going to go to a fantastic home. And he was like, $100. But this is the attachment right here. So you plug this into the back of the Game Gear, and what you did, it won't work now because they don't do Airwave TV anymore. But you pulled the antenna out just like this, right? And you would point it up in the air, you would plug it in the back, and it's got these dials on the back. Now, once again, I know I'm not talking to people that are my age. You guys know the pain of the dial. But just like the way a radio worked, that's how you used to, like, you know how if you look at an older radio, you've got to turn the little wheel on it to change the radio station back and forth? It worked like that on older TVs as well, too. And you did the same thing here. We had UHF and VHF. Ultra high fidelity, and I can't remember what the V for, but it was the ultra high fidelity and something high fidelity. I can't remember what the V stand for, but that's how you change the channel for the TV. So you could get, like football, and so you couldn't get like fucking HBO, you know what I mean? But it was, still something cool to have. And then this right here is the external battery pack. So you would charge this thing up, and then you would hook it into the back. It would screw on, and then you plugged it in, and that was your external battery. It's crazy how time flies, dude. It's genuinely insane. I was watching something with my kids earlier. Oh, I was watching old Saturday Night Live clips, like from the 90s, with my kids. Chris Farley and David Spade and Adam Sandler and, like Tim Meadows and that whole era of Saturday Night Live. And I remember being in that time period and thinking, like, how old will I be in 2020? And how old will I be in 2025? And it seemed like an eternity away, dude. Now it feels like, fuck, dude. Like, It's all downhill, man. Like, my kids are already starting to date other people and shit. That's a rough one. I mean, it is what it is. I do my best to try to make the best out of every day. I don't know what the hell is going on right now. It wants me to go find this dude.
Too old to ride my bike, too slow to hit the road. What's the use?
So it won't let me leave town. The only options I have for my car are Cauldron Lake and Bright Falls. There's a key hidden around here somewhere. Maybe I'm supposed to go back as Alan Wake and do some more shit as him. Because there's no other way out of this area other than my car. And my car won't let me go over to the trailer park. Maybe let's go talk to Jumbotron really quick. Nope, he ain't got shit to say to me. I see his keys right there. Yeah, we're gonna go back as Alan Wake really quick because this is getting me nowhere, dude. So. Okay, Parliament Tower is right there.
Scratch was closing in, gaining control. I couldn't let him escape the dark place. I had to keep him from Alice.
Let's check the map really quick. What are my get to the Parliament Tower? So it's saying this revolver is shooting 9mm bullets. Now, the only revolvers that I can think that shoot 9mm bullets are a few Rugers, right? I don't understand why this dude would pick a revolver that shoots 9mm. If you're gonna go 9mm, you might as well go Glock, right? Glock or even CZ. Personally, I feel Glock is a little better because in America, you know, you have more chances of running across spare parts for a Glock than you would anything else. But I mean, if you're gonna go revolver, I would go like Smith and Wesson 460, or I don't even know if I was in this type of situation. I don't even know if I'd want 9mm. Period. I at least want to be 10mm or bigger, 10mm, 40, 44, 45. You know, something in those ranges. I mean, I get it if he didn't have an option. This is what was handed to him, but
after Ellen died,
I wouldn't pass up on like an old school 44 mag, or even like a 357.
flattened by the confusion.
357 would be nice because you could do 357 and 38 special.
The guilt, fear. I could barely get out of bed. Barry Wheeler started visiting. He even cooked me meals. I couldn't stand the guy when I first met him, but he's a better friend than I gave him credit for. And he still checks in. Even after he moved out west.
Barry Wheeler, that's my agent from the first one, right?
Alice's work had consumed the apartment. Her whole life.
Oh.
One morning, I saw a deer soar past my bedroom window. It was a balloon of some cartoon animal. And I looked out at the street below, and I saw a little girl crying. Like losing that balloon had just ended her whole world. It was the perfect image of the horror of caring. And that's when I got myself out of bed. And I picked up my camera. There was something in the dark. Something I needed to see, to show. The more shadows I photographed and filmed, the more I felt like I was on the verge of a breakthrough. I submerged myself in it. I only went out at night. My search became obsessive, but I still had no idea what I was looking for. There's a world hidden behind ours. A dark tide ebbing and flowing against reality. Faces in the shadows. Fear of the dark is really just fear of what could be, that vast, paralyzing ocean. But photography can freeze reality in a snapshot, put a cage around the infinite and capture it. I need to prove those faces are really there.
The full manuscript of a novel. Return. A horror story about the dark presence escaping from the dark place, taking over Bright Falls. I couldn't remember writing it. I had not written it. I would never write this. I knew who had. Scratch. A monster with my face. If this story came true, Scratch would get out, people would die. Destroying the manuscript, it wouldn't stop it from happening. I would have to fix it, edit it. I could not change the genre of the story. I'd have to work within the constraints set by Scratch. I needed someone in the story to fight the darkness. Saga Anderson. I kept seeing her in my visions. She was already in Bright Falls, already involved, but she was not in Return. Not yet. I'd write her in. Try to stop Scratch within the limits of the horror story. It was almost impossible. It was taking too long. I had not reached the end. Before I could finish my edits to the manuscript.
Yes.
The memory of my edits was already fading. Terrible.
No, not the memory!
Scratch was there, at Parliament Tower, undoing my work. He could use the story to escape. He could go after Alice. I needed a new draft of the story. One that would get me ahead of Scratch.
I don't know what to do. I don't know, dude.
Zane had said
Oh,
we worked
okay.
on Return together. That was a lie. Scratch wrote Return. I would pay Zane another visit. He had guided me to 2 murder sites. I needed a new one to get back to Parliament Tower. A new draft of Initiation. I don't have time for this, so let's get it over with. Tell me, was this all fake? A show?
No one said otherwise, Mr. Wake. It was to indulge you, but we can stop pretending now.
Masks come off.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I don't even think you know who's under your mask, but you know how to make things difficult for yourself. All these rules, endless, convoluted loops you insist on going through. You You are so lucky. You know, there are so many people helping you. Armies of people. Myself. Your wife.
Alice. I need to get to her. She's in danger.
She is. Because of you. And so is someone important to me, someone you pulled into this. You keep opening doors. Peeking in. Reaching through to get what you want, and that puts you in my path.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have to go now.
Maybe you will make it through this time. This has gone on long enough. This and our Night Springs. It was a nice distraction.
It's time someone gave me a straight answer here.
The next time we meet, the circumstances will be very different. And you would do well to return the favor by playing your part. Or stay out of my way, Mr. Wake.
Whatever you say.
Okay.
Zane, the masks were finally coming off. Was it a sign I was closer to escaping? I had no time to waste. The door wouldn't open.
Here is the light at the end of the tunnel. If you come in last, you won't be happy.
Jumalauta, that held you close, Tom. Mutta on vaan set the granny in the snow. When the panic is biggest, the help is also near.
Door didn't seem happy to see me this time.
Fearing the master is the root of wisdom. But don't let the game get you down. He's playing his role. Maybe put him in your films, Tom. Like you have put me. Sehän olisikin.
What films?
I'm a fan of your masterworks. There is Tom the Poet, my favorite. And Yöden Yö is the most famous one, of course. And is it true what I hear? That it's coming back to cinemas soon? Is there a bottom to this rumor?
I need to get back to my apartment. Can you help me?
Well, plan is half done. You asked me to make sure you won't forget mikä se valokuva oli? The light pictures. The photos your artist wife took. They are waiting in the shoebox in the basement. What you leave behind, you find in front of you.
Okay. Thanks, Adi.
Okay.
The door was locked.
Wake. You're stuck. Wake. Alan, wake.
I couldn't force it open.
Wake. Alan, wake. Wake.
Dude.
Wake. Alan, wake. Alan, wake. Secret words.
Dude. Oh shit.
I would find Alice's photos in a shoebox.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I didn't think they were that good.
These were Alice's photos. I recognized the style. One showed the clicker sinking into darkness. The other showed a light in the shape of a bullet. They were important, even if I didn't know what to do with them yet.
Black Friday in general has been really weird over the past couple of years. Let's escape the talk show studio. What time is it? I gotta go to bed soon. We used to go Black Friday shopping every year, but it really doesn't do anything for us anymore. You know what I mean?
To get to Parliament Tower, I needed to find a murder site. Zane would know where to find one.
I don't have the energy to go through all this right now. Let me see. Streaming for almost 2 hours.
Inside this messy maze of blood trails I was chasing the cult through, I ran into the filmmaker, Thomas Zane, an esoteric bohemian with a hard-on for acts of cruelty performed in the name of occult nonsense. A director wants to control every aspect of the world in their films. Is the cult leader any different? Was Zane just another alias for Scratch? There was a rumor that Wake and Zane had been working on something together. I was going to get the truth out of Zane, with whatever means necessary.
All right. Let me see. What do I need to do? Alan Wake. Wake. Alan Wake. Alan Wake. It's going, I'm not gonna lie, dude. It's fucking slow starting out, and I'm having a really hard time navigating the game because there's no like clear objectives or anything like that. But other than that, dude, it's been pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's
any sign of Casey and Liana. Things keep changing, gaining momentum.
It's been pretty good, man.
Escalation.
I'm not good. Yeah, at first though, it was really hard to get into, dude. It starts off the first couple missions, dude, being stuck in that damn tunnel. Oh, I had no idea what to do. I had no idea what to do until I figured out that you could change the scene, and I eventually just scoured the entire tunnel, like the entire area, and changed every single scene. Well, now that I kind of have an idea of like what the idea is behind the game, it's a little bit easier. It's not as hard. Yeah, that's what, like, essentially you're writing the book. That's kind of what I figured out after I got stuck in that tunnel scene. I was like, I honestly feel like I'm the one that's writing this fucking book right now. But dude, so check this out. Okay. We used to live in some apartments that were across the street from the neighborhood that we live in now, right? It's literally right across the street. And we had Comcast Xfinity. I don't understand how far east Comcast Xfinity goes, but I know it's at least on the west coast of the U.S. So we had Comcast Xfinity, and they said that their high-speed internet was like 25 megabits per second and like 10 megabits per second on the upload, right? I never got that with my PS5. I would maybe get like 10 or 15 on a good day, but that was it, right? And everybody had Comcast, so you have 400 people that all have Comcast, dude, and it sucks up the bandwidth big time. So we move into this neighborhood that's across the street from our apartment. You know, we were thinking that we were going to get Comcast. We didn't get Comcast. And I was devastated. I didn't know what to do, dude. We started calling all these internet companies, dude, and they were like, nope. We called like 17 internet companies, and every single one of them was like, nope, sorry, nope. And then one guy actually came out, and he looked around on top of my house for like a half an hour, and he finally told us no, which I thought was weird because my neighbors have the same company, right? So we end up going over to Verizon and talking to Verizon and asking if there's anything that they could do. And we've been with Verizon for a long time. We've been with Verizon for like 15 years as a family. And we kind of knew the guy that was working there. So he was like, yeah, you know what? We can give you this thing called the Jetpack, and we can give you SIM cards for every line that you have, and you can use that. So we were like, cool. The bad news, I mean, it worked. I could play online and all that shit, and I didn't have any problems with like lag or anything. The only problem was I couldn't download anything, because if I downloaded something, it...
My eyes couldn't follow it.
I couldn't, because each card we only got 15 megabits per second of ultra high speed, right? We had unlimited data, but we only got 15 megabits per card of the ultra high speed. So I couldn't download anything, or else it would suck up all the internet that we had. So we would go up to my mother-in-law's house once a week to do all the downloads and updates and everything. And we did this for quite a while. We did it for about 6 months, right? And then finally, a guy that worked for the same company that the guy that came out to my house came into my store every day. And one day I was talking to him. I was like, hey, bro, you know, you guys finished building that tower out by my neighborhood yet? And he was like, what the hell are you talking about? It was like, you should be able to get internet now. I've installed internet at houses in your neighborhood. And I always gave him like free coffee and shit like that. So he was like, let me stop by your house after work today and I'll see what's going on. And I was like, okay, cool. This dude came to my house and he searched for 6 hours, dude, and got us a signal. We needed at least a 60% connectivity. We averaged anywhere from 64 to 74% in the spot that he found. Okay, so... So he ended up getting us internet, and that's the internet that we used for a long time. We were supposed to get 25 megabits per second, but we would average... On average, we would get like 13. That's the highest that we would get. You know, on most days we would get like you know, like 7 or 8 megabits per second, and then, you know, depending on what time of night it was, it would jump up to like 13, 14 megabits per second. So then the upload at the time was like 0.3 to 1.3, and I think the highest I ever got it was like 2.0. So the guy that comes to fix our computer was like, hey, why don't you guys try Verizon Home? This was something that we didn't even know about. It was a newer thing, and we were like, what, you know, whatever, you know, we already tried that. So yesterday, my wife went over there and talked to the guy, and he was like, oh, yeah, we do home internet now, okay? It's a little white box. It's about 6 by 6 by 6, and he was like, you just take it to your house and plug it in, and you get ultra high-speed unlimited data for like $50 a month or something. And we were like, oh, okay, cool. So this morning, I take it out of the box, and I plug it in, and You know, I'm waiting for everything to boot up, and it boots up, and I connect my PlayStation to it, and then I go to test my PlayStation, and I'm thinking, you know, everything is 5G now. We're getting 5G up where we live. You know, I'm thinking maybe we'll get 15 megabits per second, and we'll get like 4 on the upload, right? And that was like my highest hope right there. And I'm sitting there and I watch everything clear on the PlayStation test, and then I see the download test stops, and it pops up with a number 45.8, bro, 45.8. And then the upload 6.1, dude. I was like, what? No fucking way. We've never had internet, dude, anywhere near this fast, dude. This is double the fastest internet we've ever fucking had. So I take my PlayStation Portal, dude. I have to do an edit video, and I have to upload the edit video. I take my PlayStation Portal, dude, and I drive down to the store, which is down the road. Okay? Turn on the PlayStation Portal. I hook up my jetpack. I connect the portal to the jetpack. And then I sit there and I wait, and I'm watching it spin. All of a sudden, it pops up with hit X to play. I hit X to play, and I'm on my PlayStation 5 down at the store down the road. So I was like, what? Okay, let me go into town. Town is like 11 miles away, and it's on the other side of a mountain. Because I was like at the store, I've still technically got a clear line of sight with the signal to my house. Let me go into town. So town, we have to go up and down this mountain, right? So I get to the bottom of the other side of this mountain, and I park at the city park, and I sit there and I do the same thing, dude. And I see it spinning. I'm like, no way this is gonna work. Boom, hit X to play, dude. 11 miles away, and I'm fucking playing my PlayStation Portal. You know, it's connected to my PS5, and I'm playing that bitch. So, dude, I can't wait to take that thing to work tomorrow and play some shit on my lunch break, dude. Why does it keep doing that, dude? Alright. I don't know what is my... Oh, shit. I gotta move this. Let's move it over here. There we go. Look for Zane at the hotel. Okay, so I need to go back to the Overview Hotel. I don't have any batteries. I'm out of batteries.
Zane's room, 665, was upstairs. The elevator would take me there.
Oh, that's not gonna be a good spot for my camera either, dude. Ah, shit. Fuck it, I'll leave it there for right now. Okay, where do I need to go? I need to go. What number was his room? 665?
Something told me Zane wouldn't be happy to see me this time.
I'm in control now. The second you try anything, I will shoot you in the head. Scratch wrote return, not me. You're a fucking liar.
You've given up. You stopped writing. You said it was too dangerous, that we didn't deserve to get out. But then he showed up. Scratch. He promised to write. To get me the hell out of here. He was magnificent. A visionary. I mean, it was art. When he finished, he took return and left me behind.
It's still here, and so is he.
I know I fucked up. But you can still catch him before he gets out, before he gets to your wife. When you get to him, don't hesitate. Kill the bastard for what he did to us. There's a murder site in my cinema where my film Nightless Night is playing.
I told you not to try anything!
Damn, boy! He just popped his ass!
I had to find the movie theater Poets Cinema. The next murder site was there. Zane had created the film in tandem with Return to escape the dark place.
When you're lost in your own company. And cut! Oh. Now that is drama.
Whoa, he's still alive.
What the fuck? I had a million questions about Zane, but I had more pressing concerns.
Okay, go to Poet Cinema, exit the hotel. Okay, yeah. Where is Poet Cinema? Okay, so I need to exit the hotel and go left over to Draft Street and then go straight down. Make a left. And then make a right.
I could see the searchlight beams of the movie theater on the far side of the plaza. It was locked from the other side. Job. door wouldn't budge.
Fuck.
Alan Wake. Wake.
Something kept me going. A broken man. No hope, no prospects, no love. Too stubborn to die. Like a cockroach with a misguided sense of honor and justice in a city where there can never be justice.
Hell, there's nothing up here. Huh. God damn it.
The cinema lobby was a gateway to other realities on the silver screen. I could set a scene here.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I need to go to bed. I gotta go back to work tomorrow. But this has been super fun. I'm starting to get more and more into this game. So, yeah. I will be back tomorrow evening with some more Alan Wake 2, but I want to thank everybody for stopping by. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a happy and safe Sunday night, and I will catch you guys again tomorrow. Peace.